God damn, I'm bored as shit. Hey, yo, y'all want to go bowling?
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
Come on, Antonio, you got this. All right, here I go. Hey, what the fuck, man? Holy shit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to throw in your lane. You know what? It's fine. Don't do it again. All right, well, at least that wasn't one of my turns. Here, I'm gonna try again. Hey, I said to stop throwing into my fucking lane. Hey, you know what? At least you made some fucking pins, fat ass. Oh, yeah? Yeah, and you dress like a pussy. One more time. I swear, just one more time. Come on, bro. The hoes are watching. You need to lock in. That's it. Throwing your ball in the wrong lane is some of the most embarrassing shit that can happen to you. Like, low-key, how the fuck did you manage to throw the ball in the lane next to you? For example, imagine playing while having the gutter rails on, which is already a major problem, but then also throwing that shit and missing your entire lane. But you know what? I'm not going to instantly jump to conclusions, because they probably have Parkinson's or some other sort of disease that causes you to throw the ball like a fucking idiot. And y'all thought I was done with the gutter rails? No, I want you to know right now that unless you have an actual reason for playing with the gutter rails on, which is extremely unlikely, then you are a pussy. But this day, me and my friend Antonio were at the gym, and he saw this cute girl named Lila asking him for help on the machine. So after he helps her and we finish our workout, Antonio starts sulking in his car saying that he should have asked for her number. And I think in my head, Antonio's a good friend, he deserves a win. So I take on the role of a hype man and I convince him to turn the car around and ask her out. Somehow he manages to get her snap, and you know, after about a week or two of talking, they plan a date, but she wanted to invite her friend Jane for safety. Then the next time they could have a regular date. So to ensure that Lila's friend wouldn't be alone, Antonio invited me, making it look like a double date. Anyways, the date goes well and we finish the night eating at B-dubs. And while my cross ass is fucking up my food, Antonio plans the next date. But he invites me and Jane along with them. Major mistake. If you want to date someone, not even just women, but men too, it goes both ways. You can't really have other people along with them, because it kills all the potential for romantic chemistry between them, because now it's a friend group. And this wouldn't really be an issue if it happened once or even a couple times, but he did it every fucking time. Like, bro, I'm not trying to see you cuck yourself over and over again. And I already know that some of you think I'm a dickhead for saying that by inviting me, he's cucking himself. But guess what? That is exactly what happened. We went to Jane's workplace to meet up before we went bowling, and when me and Antonio walk in, we see Lila and another nigga holding hands. I already knew this was going to be a fucking issue. I looked at Antonio, and bro literally looked like a Sad Boys album cover, like he was going through it. Jane finally gets off work, and we decide that we're going to go to main event to bowl. And while Lila and her new man go to the main event to reserve a lane, Antonio, me, and Jane were going to go to the bank so that she can cash in her check, and then we meet up. And man, this day just couldn't get worse for him. On the way to the car, we see Lila and her other man start making out, like fate was just rubbing salt in Antonio's wounds at this point. We get in the car and bro starts driving like a psychopath. I could see it in his eyes, him looking back on all the memories they shared together. Every moment he thought she liked him back, every moment he thought about how lucky he was, the first moment they met, and the moment she said yes. All for nothing now. The tension in the car was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. I wanted to tell him to slow down, but fuck was I scared. Just like that, huh, Chaser? I did everything for that fucking bitch. Oh, okay, man. Oh, I love you, Tony. I can't see myself without you, Tony. We're gonna get married, Tony, and have a bunch of kids. Lying bitch! Bro, she never said any of that. Bro, the doors are locked. Yeah, I locked them. Bro, the windows are shut too. Yeah, I closed them. Antonio, please, you're driving really fast. Tony. Tony! She meant everything to me. You're gonna come with me. So after making it to the main event, I look over at bro and he just looks even worse. I mean, he's red as shit. His blood is unironically boiling through his veins. Me and Jane get out of the car and Antonio stops me and tells me, I'm not gonna go inside. I'm way too fucking angry. If I go in there, I'm gonna punch him or some shit. You're gonna punch him? What do you think you are, Booker T? Sorry, I thought I'd lighten the mood. Just tell her my mom needed help or something. Look, how about you just stay in the parking lot for 10-15 minutes, and if you feel like it, you can hold it together, just come back inside, alright? No, I think I'm just gonna go home. Alright, well, can you still pick me up when I'm done? Yeah, I got you too. Just go have fun. Me and Jane go inside the main event, and the lane's already prepared. All of our names are up, and Lila says, where's Antonio? And I just say he's not coming. So after maybe about 30 minutes of bowling and having a good time, Antonio walks into the main event and approaches us. Everyone greets him to ask him where he's been, that they thought he wasn't coming, and instead of answering their questions, he looks at me and I get worried because I know what he's about to do. You see, I've known Antonio long enough to know how he thinks. He was about to try to bowl a strike to impress everyone because in his head, he thinks that by bowling a strike, he'll be on even standing against her new man. The conditions were just right, his name was up on the board, we were all watching him, he had some sort of newfound courage that built up inside of him, and we all thought he was unstoppable. He picked up the ball and he went to bowl it, and on that fateful day, he fucking failed so badly. If you saw my last video, then you know that I lost against a pedophile, but what happened to him was so much worse. It was the result of a sequence of completely misfortunate events all happening exactly at the same time. Antonio picked up the ball and went to bowl it, but usually when you bowl, the ball comes off around here. But instead, this time, it came off around here, at the end of his swing, causing it to fly upwards, smack the TV displaying our names, and crash down on the plywood, then immediately roll into the gutter for a shameful, slow trip to the pit. But not just that. You know when you're in class and you can hear everyone talking, the sounds of pencil scribbling, and just other shit going on, but then suddenly, maybe for 3 seconds, the classroom is just completely quiet? Guess what? It's one of those moments. The music was in between changing and everyone just stopped talking for a second, and the only thing that's making noise right now is just him. So everyone, including people we don't know, are looking at him and just laughing their asses off. Bro just stands there and absorbs the embarrassment for a bit, and then he turns around, cries in front of us, and walks outside the building. Now one could say that's essentially my fault since I did convince him to stay in the parking lot, which I will agree in hindsight wasn't the best idea. However, I don't actually feel bad, or actually, no, I do feel bad, but I don't feel responsible, and let me tell you why. After we finished bowling, I went outside and I called him, and I got sent straight to voicemail, and on top of that, it's like 12:30 a.m., and I snuck out to get here, which means if I call my parents and force them to come out here, they're gonna cut off my ass. So with that information in mind, I have 3 choices. Option number 1 was to walk home. Now the walk wasn't so far away, but it's really cold outside and I'm not trying to get jumped by 4 niggas in a box Chevy, so number 1's already off the table. Number 2 was to call my parents, and I wasn't so worried about the sneaking out thing, but you see, around this time, I was a frequent partaker of recreational intoxicants, specifically those of the cannabinoid variety, and my dad just so happened to be living in the prime of his life at this time, and he had the nose of a fucking bloodhound, so I was guaranteed to get a major punishment. And that left me with option 3. I could ask Lila's boyfriend to take me home, which had the benefit of both keeping sneaking out a secret from my parents and protecting me from the level 99 crooks patrolling the streets outside. So with all this information in mind, I made the extremely knowledgeable decision to get inside of his Camaro and have him haul my bitch ass home. And once I got inside, I joined the group chat Discord call to see what was up, and Antonio was crying like a little bitch, whining about a girl who didn't even give a fuck about him. Naturally, he noticed my spiritual pressure the moment I joined, and he asked me how I got back home, and for a moment I thought about lying to him, but then I remembered that he fucking ditched me at a main event when it was like negative 15 degrees outside, so I retaliated. Chaser, how'd you get back home? Lila's boyfriend took me. What the fuck? So you just got in his car? A real friend would have walked home. Oh yeah? Well, I don't know if you've been checking the news, but it's negative 15 degrees outside, so I would have froze my dick off. Well, I guess you should have thought about me and Lila before getting in his car then. Well, what can I say, Tony? I was thinking about how her new boyfriend's gonna be dicking down Lila when I got in the car. Well, at least I didn't freeze my ass off outside. Oh, trust me, I was hoping you were cozy considering that you cucked yourself out of more relationships than an episode of Jerry Springer. Oh, trust me, I am nice and cozy now that I hit a blinker off the dad pad you left in my fucking car. Oh, well, I left that for you, Antonio. Just like all those stains, Lila and her boyfriend would be leaving on her bedsheets, you fucking cocksucker. You know what? I don't think I want to be your friend anymore. God, what a fucking chode. Welcome to the end of the video. Honestly, I had to rush this one. Originally, I wanted to make this one sooner, but the wackiest shit ever happened to me this past month. I'm sure that one day I'll tell the story, but to keep it short, I almost became a cuck. But enough about me. I want to say thank you to everyone who watched my videos. When I made the first one, I only expected to get like 10 views, but to see that more than 200 people were interested and clicked on my video really just means it to me. And so did the comments. Like, I don't even comment on the shit I watch, so thank you. Anyways, my next video, I'm going to improve my game, make the animation better, and tell a fucking amazing story. Sometime before March or early March if some goofy shit happens to me again. But that's all I want to say. Thank you.